You write an article with ChatGPT, hit publish, wait a week, check Google, and it's sitting on page 5, buried under a dozen competitors you know you could beat. Sound familiar? Here's the thing, ChatGPT can write a perfectly fine essay, but it has no idea what Google actually wants for your keyword. It doesn't know what the top ranking pages look like, which entities and semantic terms matter, or even how long the article should be. So, today I'm running a real experiment. Same keyword, 2 versions. One written purely with ChatGPT, the other optimized with a tool called NeuronWriter. I'll show you the content scores, the competitor breakdowns, and exactly what changes when you layer an SEO brain on top of AI. Plus, there are some limited time Black Friday deals happening right now. I'll give you the details at the end. Let's get into it. Before we dive into the experiment, let me set the stage. NeuronWriter isn't another AI content generator. It's an SEO layer that sits on top of your AI drafts, or any content really. Think of it this way, ChatGPT is amazing at writing. It can turn a rough prompt into a full blog post in seconds, but ChatGPT is completely blind to your actual search results. It doesn't know what your competitors are doing, what structure is working for that keyword, or which semantic terms Google expects to see. That's where NeuronWriter comes in. It reads the SERP first, the top 10 or 20 ranking pages, analyzes them with NLP, and then tells you, here's what Google seems to care about for this query. Here are the terms, the headings, the questions, the typical length. Now go write or optimize accordingly. It's built for people who need repeatable SEO content, bloggers who live off organic traffic, agencies running client campaigns, copywriters cranking out articles, in-house content teams who want a structured workflow instead of 20 separate tools and a lot of guessing. And full transparency, this video is sponsored by AppSumo, who are running NeuronWriter as part of their Black Friday lineup. Huge thanks to them for making this possible. Now let's see if this thing actually works. All right, experiment time. I picked a real long tail keyword for this test. How to write SaaS onboarding emails. It's specific, it has decent search volume, and there are clear competitors ranking for it. Step 1, I go to ChatGPT, give it a straightforward prompt, write a full blog post on how to write SaaS onboarding emails, make it practical, include examples, and let it rip. ChatGPT delivers. The draft reads well. It's got an intro, some subheadings, a few tips, a conclusion. If you published this as is, your readers wouldn't complain. It's coherent, it's helpful, it sounds smart. But here's the problem. I have no idea if this will rank. ChatGPT wrote this in a vacuum. It has no clue what the #1 result on Google looks like, how long it is, what H2s and H3s it uses, or which related terms and entities appear in the top 5 pages. So I take this raw ChatGPT draft and paste it into NeuronWriter's editor, and immediately I get a content score. This one lands at 22 out of 100. Not great. NeuronWriter also shows me a list of my top competitors. The pages currently ranking in the top 10 for this keyword, and their scores. Most of them are sitting in the 50s and 60s. One of them is at 76. So my ChatGPT article, as nice as it reads, is structurally and semantically way behind the pack. It's missing a ton of terms Google expects, the headings don't align with common patterns, and there's no FAQ section even though every top result has one. This is the gap. ChatGPT gave me a solid starting point, but it's not optimized for search. It's optimized for sounding good in a chat window. Now let me show you how NeuronWriter actually works, step by step. First, I create a new project. NeuronWriter asks for the domain I'm targeting. Let's say it's my test blog, and then I enter my target keyword, how to write SaaS onboarding emails. NeuronWriter runs SERP analysis. It pulls the top results from Google, analyzes them with natural language processing, and gives me a full breakdown. On the left side of the editor, I see my content score and a comparison chart showing where I stand versus the top competitors. Right now, I'm at 22. The top competitor is at 76. That's a 54-point gap. On the right side, I get 3 key tabs. Terms. This is a list of semantic terms and entities that appear frequently in top-ranking content. Not just exact match keywords. These are related concepts, synonyms, and phrases that signal to Google, yes, this This article covers the topic comprehensively. NeuronWriter breaks these into basic terms, the must-haves, and extended terms, which are nice-to-haves for even deeper coverage. Each term has a little checkbox. If I'm missing a term, the box is empty. If I add it to my content, it checks off and my score goes up in real time. Headings. This tab shows me the most common H2 and H3 structures across top-ranking pages. For example, I might see that most competitors use headings like what is a SaaS onboarding email, best practices for onboarding sequences, and examples of high-converting onboarding emails. If my draft is missing any of these angles, I know I need to add them. Questions. This is gold for creating FAQ sections. NeuronWriter pulls the people also ask questions from Google and other common queries related to the topic. I can click any question and it'll suggest where to integrate it or even generate a short answer using its built-in AI. So here's what I do. I go through the terms list and start naturally weaving in the missing semantic terms. I'm not keyword stuffing, I'm just making sure the article touches on the concepts Google expects. Things like user activation, trial conversion, personalized messaging, behavioral triggers. I also adjust my headings to match the common patterns I see in the headings tab. I add examples of high-converting onboarding email section and a step-by-step onboarding sequence section, because those show up in almost every top result. And I add a quick FAQ at the end, pulling 2 or 3 questions from the questions tab. As I make these changes, my content score climbs 32, 45, 58, 72. By the time I'm done, I'm sitting at 78, right in the range of the top ranking pages. And here's the thing. The article still sounds like me. I'm not copy-pasting competitor content, I'm just making sure I'm covering the right territory in a way that aligns with what Google rewards. NeuronWriter also has its own AI features baked in, which can speed things up even more. For example, you can generate an AI outline based on the SERP analysis and your target keyword. It'll suggest a full structure, intro, main sections, FAQ, tailored to what's ranking. You can also use the start paragraph or expand buttons to improve weak sections. Let's say ChatGPT wrote a thin paragraph about best practices for SaaS onboarding email sequence. I highlight it, click, expand, and NeuronWriter's AI rewrites it with more depth and better semantic coverage. There's also an AI profile feature where you define your brand voice, tone, and target audience. That way, every AI-generated suggestion stays on brand. Quick hits and other features. Internal link suggestions. NeuronWriter scans your site and recommends articles to link to. Next, content ideas. It suggests related keywords and topics for your content cluster. WordPress export in one click. And Google Search Console integration, so you can pull real performance data and optimize existing posts that are underperforming. All right, let's do a side-by-side. This is the moment that makes it all clear. On the left, the ChatGPT only version, content score 32, missing most of the key semantic terms. Headings are generic, no FAQ. Total word count, around 800 words, which is way under the 1,500-2,000 range that top results typically hit for this keyword. On the right, the NeuronWriter optimized version. Content score 78, packed with relevant entities and terms. Headings aligned with competitor patterns. FAQ section included. Word count 1,850. Now, does this guarantee a page 1 ranking? No. SEO is never a guarantee. You still need backlinks, domain authority, and a site that Google trusts, but what this does is drastically increase your chances. ChatGPT gave us a decent starting point, a readable, helpful draft. NeuronWriter layered on what Google actually expects, the right entities, the right structure, the right depth. So now this article has a real shot at competing on page 1 instead of disappearing into the void on page 5. So who should actually use NeuronWriter? Good fits, solo bloggers and niche site owners who live or die by organic traffic. If you're building a content site, an affiliate blog, or personal brand that depends on Google sending people your way, this is a huge workflow upgrade. Agencies that need a repeatable, client-friendly SEO process. You can't just wing it when you're managing 5 or 10 client blogs. NeuronWriter gives you a system. Analyze the SERP, write or optimize, hit the score target, publish, repeat. In-house content and SEO teams who want one tool instead of juggling ClearScope, Surfer, Ahrefs, and a dozen browser tabs. NeuronWriter consolidates a lot of that into a single editor. How it fits with ChatGPT. Here's my recommended workflow. Use ChatGPT for ideation, outlines, and first drafts. It's fast, it's flexible, and it's great at getting words on the page. Then use NeuronWriter for SRP research, semantic optimization, content scoring, and final polish. It's the bridge between good AI content and content that actually ranks. Limitations. Let's keep it real. There is a learning curve. The first time you open NeuronWriter, the interface can feel a little busy. You've got a lot of tabs, a lot of data, give it a couple of projects and it clicks. It won't fix bad fundamentals. If you're writing about a topic with zero search demand, or your site has no backlinks and no authority, no tool is going to save you. NeuronWriter optimizes content. It doesn't replace SEO hygiene, link building, or a solid content strategy. And semantic scoring isn't everything. A score of 85 doesn't automatically beat a score of 75. User experience, page speed, and how well your content actually answers the query all matter too. But within its lane, on-page SEO for AI-generated or human-written content, it's one of the best tools I've tested. All right, let's talk about the deal because timing matters here. NeuronWriter is part of AppSumo's Black Friday 2025 event, and specifically Drop 5, which is called Create Content Smarter. That drop goes live on November 21st. AppSumo is sponsoring today's video, and they run their Black Friday sale and theme drops over about 3 weeks. Here's how the pricing works. Each tool gets its best price during the first week of its drop. After that, usually around 7 to 10 days later, so around November 28th for NeuronWriter, the price bumps up. So, if you want the best deal, you want to grab it during that first week. AppSumo's Black Friday runs roughly from November 17th through December 5th, and Drop 5 also includes other content and SEO tools. If you're building a content stack, it's worth browsing the whole lineup. Quick context on AppSumo. They're a long-running marketplace for lifetime software deals and SaaS discounts. Most deals come with lifetime access, meaning you pay once, own it forever. No recurring subscription, and they back everything with a 60-day money-back guarantee. So if you try NeuronWriter and it's not for you, you're covered. I'll drop the link in the description. If you're serious about making your AI content competitive on Google, this is a solid time to lock it in. And while you're there, browse the rest of AppSumo's Black Friday lineup. Tools like Semdash, a ton of other content and automation apps, all on limited time offers. Hit the link, grab NeuronWriter, and start running your next article through this workflow instead of just publishing raw ChatGPT drafts and hoping for the best. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.